Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We just picked up a Miss PacMan Gallagher Class of 81 Deluxe cabinet from Arcade1up. They had these in stock at our Tuki, if that's how you pronounce it, Best Buy down just south of Phoenix. Had them in stock for in-store pickup. We were not going to get one of these, but something changed my mind. Stay tuned to find out what I think of the cab and why I changed my mind. Okay, so let's take a look at what you get in the box first. The box it comes in is a bit smaller, pieces are better packed, there was no damage, at least on arrival, with my pieces. I did damage some in the build process. There's no riser anymore, so you get a base and a top panel that get connected in a similar way to the extension panels that you might have seen on Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and KI. It comes with a moulded coin door, a backlit marquee. You even now get screw caps included. In terms of how it fits together, you build the top first, starting in a similar way to any other cab, and then you build the base and slide the two together. The monitor is now a single piece with a control deck pre-connected, so that reduces the build time a little bit. But I think this will also make for better QA processes at Arcade1up factory, as I'm sure you could now test this as a standalone unit much more easily before it gets put in a box. Monitor and control deck now slot in as that single piece, just like the screen did on the prior design. The speaker panel on this cab needs to be bigger because of the recessed screen, of course, but it now also comes with speaker grills, which I think is a nice touch. One word of warning though, when you do build this base part, do follow the instructions if this is the first one you're building. You need to put the kick plate in before the side panel, otherwise it won't slide in after because of the screws on the back of the coin door. Alright, so that said, now let's take a look at what it looks like built. We've put this out in a separate kind of little lounge area with the infinity table, iArcade, MK30th, Star Wars pin and golden tee out here. You see Attack from Mars is back out of order after the Intech deck was put in. Got some issues with that we're still trying to resolve. But anyway, let's take a look at the cabinet, point out some of the differences. So Class of 81 Deluxe, we've got the Gallagher artwork on the right hand side, Miss PacMan artwork on the left. The marquee is now the backlit, the same as the MK30th, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and others. Looks really good. One little tip when you're building this, it's quite fiddly to get the sides on, and I actually didn't have it set in properly when I did the screws up, and it kind of chipped it off a little bit. But to be honest, I'll probably replace this anyway. I want to get just the Miss PacMan Bally marquee, and I'm probably going to get side art to Miss PacMan, as well as front kick plate Miss PacMan Bally as well, so it's just a Miss PacMan cabinet. Anyway, so under the marquee, you've got new speaker grill covers, which look pretty cool. The sound that comes out of this is also a lot better, a lot louder. The deck is now kind of like a waterfall effect with how the decal comes down here. Perhaps would have liked to have seen this as one piece, since they now built in the control deck into the screen, which you can see is recessed in there. This is really cool. I was curious, being 6 foot standing up, if the marquee would get in the way. It doesn't at all. This is great for playing standing up as well as sitting down. So really nice screen position, really like what they've done here. The controls are good. The one thing I would say, I think the original Miss PacMan we had from Walmart had a 4-way stick in it. This seems to be an 8-way stick, which is not needed for any of the games, so would have preferred to have seen a 4-way stick there. Coming down to the kick plate, we've got a nice moulded coin door. It doesn't light up. With this being the deluxe model, maybe they could have added light up coin door. I don't think that would be too difficult for them to do and fairly inexpensive. But anyway, it's still nice to have the moulded coin door at least. What else? Obviously the new side panels now just a single piece. There's no riser on these things. In terms of the height, same, just a little bit taller than the pinballs, about the same height as the MK30th, and obviously a little taller than the original cabinet. So if you're comparing this to a Class of 81 or a Namco Legacy, it's going to be an inch or so taller, I think. Really like the new design. You can kind of see from when you put it together, the base is kind of like the riser, and then the top is more like a bar top and sits on top of it. It's really well constructed. There's not only cross supports with wood, which would have been sufficient, but you've also got metal braces inside as well. So really sturdy, really well built. I really like the design. That said, let's get into some gameplay. Okay, so games on this cabinet. You've got Miss PacMan, Dig Dug 2, the original Gallagher, as well as Gallagher 88 and Galaxian, Mappy, Rally X, which we haven't got on any of our other cabinets, Rolling Thunder, Rompers, Tower of Dragula, which I have never played, so I'll have a look at that. And then King and Balloon, also a game I've never played, so we'll check that out. I'm not going to go through all of the games on here. I'll check out the marquee titles, other games you can find in our other reviews. But then I'll also check out Tower of Dragula and King and Balloon. Let's have a look at Miss PacMan first. All of the games have got individual settings. If you push left, you can also see it's Wi-Fi enabled, so you've got online leaderboards as well. Settings for Miss PacMan: change initial lives, bonus, difficulty, speed, we always put on fast, smoothing, leave off, it looks terrible if you put the smoothing on, and let's just hide that menu and get into the game. Oops. Alright, first level clear. I'm not going to bore you with too much gameplay, you've seen Miss PacMan before, but really like Miss PacMan with the fast mode on. Like I said in the intro, it is an 8-way stick. I would have preferred to have seen a 4-way stick in here, so maybe we'll get a 4-way gate and modify that in the future. Anyway, let's go down, we'll play Gallagher. Show you the settings here, initial lives on easy. Smoothing is off. Put fast fire on. Okay, you've seen Gallagher. Let's jump back out, and like I said, I'm not going to go through all of the games, but let's check out a couple that I haven't played. Rallycross. That all looks good. I always wonder with these cabs, since it's got a vertical screen, why they don't just put vertical games on. I haven't played this game before, I've got to say it's actually pretty cool. The simpler the game, the better in my opinion. Like PacMan but with cars, isn't it? Anyway, I'll practice that when I'm not on camera. Yeah, quite like that. Definitely see myself playing that a bit more. Did I say Dragula? So how do you pronounce that? Draga. Vertical game. You really see on games with a bit more music how loud these new speakers are. I had no idea what that was. Obviously, you don't want to touch it. I could have hit that. Okay, let's jump out of that one for now. Definitely need to give that a little bit more time. So, final game, King and Balloon. Bit of a variation on Gallagher. Okay, so let's start out with things that I like about this cabinet and areas that Arcade1up has improved the cabinet, and then we're going to talk about a few of the niggles I've got before we summarise. So really like the new marquee. As I said, we did chip it, but apart from that, black levels are really good. Contrast is really good, really clearly lit. Really nice update here to have that backlit marquee on the top. Another nice touch, they took feedback from the community. Nice cheap addition was screw cap covers. Only going to cost you a couple of bucks, but nice to see us in the box. There are more screw holes in the side because of the way the cabinet is constructed, so that's a really nice touch from Arcade1up. Also love the slanted screen. It's much more like the original. I think it improves the gameplay position whether you're standing up or sitting down. Really like the molded coin door. And finally, love the fact that you don't have to build a riser anymore, and the cabinet just looks better being a solid piece rather than having to sit on that riser. So lots of improvements here. A couple of the niggles next. I don't like the artwork, but I guess it's class of 81, so that's what it's supposed to look like. I wanted the Miss PacMan cabinet. I'm not sure if that was cancelled, delayed, if they're going to release it maybe with some exclusive retailers. Either way, I think I will probably replace the marquee with a new marquee from Sabo's Arcade that is the original Miss PacMan Bally, and I'll probably replace that front kick plate decal with the same. Maybe also add a decal on the side so it's just a Miss PacMan cabinet. What else? The joystick. I think this is an 8-way. Comment in the comments if I'm wrong. It feels like an 8-way. When you're moving around on Miss PacMan, you don't always feel that you've hit left and it's gone left. And I didn't get that with the original Miss PacMan cabinet from Arcade1up, so I think the original had a 4-way, which was better. Also, the way that this control deck is now a single piece and comes connected to the monitor is better, but they should have just gone an extra step, I think, and made it into a waterfall control deck. So you don't have a piece of wood here, it's just a single continual piece. Having said that, obviously they've got to balance options and features with price. Price point of $499 with the additions they've made, I think is good value for money and good feature set for the price point they're putting this out at. That said, I wouldn't necessarily call it a deluxe cabinet. I'd like to see this as the new entry level, the default if you will. I'm pretty sure they could add some additional things to make it truly a deluxe cabinet. Okay, so very happy with the cabinet in summary. It's a thumbs up from me. I would definitely recommend getting this. Why did I get it? I was never going to get this. I sold Miss PacMan and PacMan, and I was doing some further cabinet consolidation. Actually come down from 30 cabinets to about 23 now. I still want to get rid of the At Games and maybe the MVSX Neo Geo. Maybe Tempest is going to go as well. I may even get rid of Golden Axe. So it made sense to get this cabinet because my two favourite games from Miss PacMan and the Namco Legacy were Miss PacMan and Gallagher. So this is the perfect game set for me without having to modify it. And ultimately, once I got rid of my Miss PacMan, I instantly regretted it. I love the cabinet design, it's one of my favourite games. So this was a must purchase for me as soon as it came in stock at a local Best Buy. So love this cabinet, it's definitely a keeper. Really happy overall, and I definitely recommend you go out and grab yourself one. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this, please consider subscribing and hit the notify button for future videos from Kelso's Arcade. We'll see you on the next one. Happy gaming!